Disney Cruise influencers leave out a lot because if you only watch the highlight reels, then you never see the hidden costs, the crowds, or the chaos that families deal with all the time on board. So today we're talking about the 7 things that Disney Cruise influencers never tell you. Hi, I'm KJ, let's get started. Number 1. Not everything is included with your cruise. Things like alcohol, specialty coffee, bingo, the internet, the photo packages. I actually have a full video on what is and is not included on Disney Cruise, so I will link that down below. But there are a lot of hidden fees if you're not aware. The internet is an added expense. Now, if you do have an iPhone, you can do iMessage, so I can iMessage my parents if I am on board and they are back home in the States. I can still iMessage them, but you don't have internet. If you're someone who likes your fancy coffees, if you're going to Cove Cafe, or we were just on the Destiny and they have Megara's Cafe, and then they have Merida's, those are an added price as well, an added cost. So I recommend just getting the regular coffee on board. I think it's really good. I drink my coffee black, so to me it doesn't really make sense to get some of those specialty drinks, but just know that those are hidden costs. There might be something that you don't think about, and I feel like influencers really don't talk about that. You'll see their picture perfect coffees and whatnot, but they're not letting you know that this is extra. So just be aware of that. Now, number 2, the pools are tiny. So when I first went on a Disney cruise, I was actually surprised at how small the pools were and also how many of them were not that deep. I believe on the Wish and the Destiny, they have 2 pools that are about 4 feet, if memory serves me correct, but a lot of them were like 2 feet. I feel like we had a lot of like 2-foot pools, but what I still can't get past is how crowded the pools can be and how small they are. I guess in my mind, I thought there'd be like one huge pool, but there's not. There's lots of little pools on Disney Cruise Line. Number 3, the elevators are brutal. When we were on the Disney Wish, we learned this the hard way. Now, I know that some people don't like how the Wish class is set up in terms of the elevators. I don't really have a preference. I thought the elevators on the Magic, on the Dream, and on the Wish and Destiny, were fine. I didn't really care. I didn't really find a big difference in terms of convenience. I felt like they were all the same in terms of where they were located on the ship. The thing that is so hard, especially as a parent with a child in a stroller, is that they can get really crazy. So during peak times, it is very difficult to get an elevator. You guys, when it's time to go to your rooms on embarkation day, when you are getting on the elevator after watching the fireworks, when you are headed down to dinner, when you're getting off at a port of call, especially like Castaway Cay and Lookout Cay, it is nuts. So my advice to you, and something I have never heard anybody else talk about, is if you are getting on an elevator, and especially if you have a stroller, what you should do, listen up guys, this one is really important. If you have a stroller, if you need to go up, if you're going to deck 11 for the fireworks, or you're going to deck 11 for the pirate party or the sail away party, and say you're on deck 7, I think that's what we were on our last cruise, we'll hit the down button. We want to go up, but we'll do the opposite and hit the down button because nobody's going down. So we get an elevator almost immediately, ride it down, and then just wait and just ride it back up. What I would say is definitely get on the elevator, go in the opposite way if you want to guarantee yourself getting on an elevator. Otherwise, you could be waiting a really long time. Number 4, you will wait in line. Now, you might be a Disney Parks person and you're used to waiting in lines, or maybe you're not used to waiting in lines because you're a Lightning Lane person. But even if you get Lightning Lane, because we're Lightning Lane people, there are still lines. Now, on a Disney cruise, the same thing. There are character lines, there are lines for the buffets, there's lines at guest services, there's lines to get off the ship on debarkation day, and there are definitely lines for the Aqua Mouse or the Aqua Duck. I went on the Aqua Dunk and there was never really a line for that on the Magic. If you want to ride the Aqua Mouse, it's going to be a long line, unless you were riding it on a day that you were at Castaway Cay. Maybe Lookout Cay, we got back on the ship around 2 o'clock on the Lookout Cay day, and there was a very long line. It was still like 40 minutes. On the Castaway Cay day, we were back on the ship around 12 and we walked right on 2 times in a row. So it was just a walk on. But I would say for the most part, the slides, unless you're going first thing in the morning or when you're at a port of call that everybody wants to get off, you're gonna be waiting a long time. If you are waiting in line for a popular character, so take the Disney Destiny, for example, you can meet Loki on this cruise, you can meet Cruella, you can meet Maleficent, and you can meet Dr. Facilier. These are rare characters that you really cannot meet in the parks unless it's a special occasion. So the lines can get very long. The first night on the Disney Destiny, my daughter really wanted to meet Cruella. The only time was 10 o'clock at night, and I can't remember if you can meet her at another point on the cruise. There might have been like one other time, but we opted to just get it done that first night because sometimes, like, just do it. Just do the thing, because you might not get to do it later. So if you ever have the opportunity to do something on a cruise, don't be like, oh, we'll do it tomorrow. Do it now, because sometimes tomorrow never comes. So we waited in line for Cruella about 45 minutes, which to me is a long time to wait for a character on a cruise. A lot of the other lines can be anywhere between like 15 and 20 minutes, if not like just, a quick line. So, for Cruella, it was quite a long line. If you see a line at the buffet for Cabanas or Marceline Market, and if the line is going out to the pool deck, bypass the line, go inside. There are several stations. You don't have to wait at that first station. We made that mistake on the Dream. So you can avoid that line if you go inside and go to another station, because the food's the same basically all the way around. Number 5, the app controls your life. Now, not in the same way that it does in the Disney parks, but you definitely have to be mindful of the app. That's gonna tell you what is going on for that day, for the duration of your cruise. So you're going to wanna be in the app. You're gonna wanna heart the things that you wanna do. We find that we are in the app throughout the day, just kind of seeing like, okay, we hearted a bunch of stuff. What are we gonna be able to make it to? What are we gonna actually have to skip? So you do have to be in the app. Also, things are subject to change, so you always just wanna be checking. You're not gonna be completely phone free if that's what you're looking to do. If you're looking to completely unplug, maybe you're unplugging from like social media, but you do have to be on your phone a little bit because they no longer have paper navigators. Our first cruise was in March of 2023, which is winter, I guess, still, and they no longer had the paper navigators. So I feel like they got rid of those like before the pandemic. So while it's not as bad as the parks, you still will have to be on your phone to know what's going on. Number 6, you cannot do everything. You will see the highlight reels on social media. You'll go on Instagram, you'll go on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and you will see these people, and it makes it look like they get to do everything on their Disney cruise. You don't get to do everything on your Disney cruise, and that's okay. We have been on 4 Disney cruises, like I've said, and we have been on 4 Disney cruises in the last 3 years, and we've had a blast every time. But you can't do it all. You just cannot do it all. So for example, on our Castaway Cay day, we're people that choose not to spend the full day in Castaway Cay. You might be someone that wants to spend your full day in Castaway Cay. Now on the Destiny itineraries, one of the itineraries is a Key to Key tour. And the Key to Key tour is Lookout Cay and Castaway Cay and a day at sea. When we were on the Magic, our itinerary was a day at Nassau, then Lookout, and then a day at sea. And on that cruise, we felt like we got to do a lot more on the ship because we had 2 days, at sea, because the Nassau day is basically a day at sea. And then on the Destiny, we had the Key to Key tour. So we opted to leave Castaway Cay after about 3 hours so we could utilize our time on the ship. So that just goes to show you cannot do it all. And the number 7 thing that Disney cruise influencers never talk about is that the Disney Cruise Line cabins are actually not that small, even with kids. So we've been on 4 cruises in the last 3 years. The first one, I was 5 months pregnant and my 2 older kids were 18 months and 3. And then our most recent one, our kids were 2, 4, and 6. So we've traveled with different age, our kids were different ages when we traveled, and we always had a pack and play in the room. And even with the pack and play, even with a diaper genie, like it just never felt overcrowded. Even on the Magic, I didn't feel like we were crammed for space. We always utilize the space underneath the bed. We utilize hooks in the bathroom. We're not fans of the hooks on the walls, the metal hooks. I think I brought them on, I feel like I always just throw them in my bag, but we never use them. I actually feel like it makes the room feel smaller when you put the hooks on the walls. I just kind of feel like the walls are closing in on me. And I know that's like a big hack among Disney influencers, but I am in strong disagreement with that. I just don't think you need them, and I 100% think it makes it feel like the room is cluttered and like the walls are closing in on you. The other thing is, if you are in a room that has a veranda, you have the 2 bathroom system. So you have 1 bathroom with a toilet and a sink, and you have 1 bathroom that has a sink and the shower, which also makes it feel not small or crammed either. Now, we've never been in an inside room or an ocean view room, so I can't speak to that, but since the majority of the Disney cruise cabins are veranda rooms, I feel like, you know, it's not bad at all. So when these Disney influencers talk about how the rooms are so tiny, they're not. Just don't overpack. And if you want to know what to pack for your Disney cruise, I will link that video down below as well. But that's going to do it for today's video. The 7 things that Disney cruise influencers never talk about. Now, if you guys disagree, let me know in the comments down below. Just be kind about it. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. And if you made it all the way to the end of the video, leave me this emoji, the like smiley face that's not smiling is going like this, because you know, things that they don't talk about. And if you guys liked today's video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new and you like the content. And with that, I will see you guys real soon. Bye.